everyone, welcome back to our channel. And today we have a wonderful guest again. Please, sir, can we meet you?
My name is Akinpade, Engineer Akinpade Phillips.
Wow, from what? Where did you finish your postgraduate studies from?
I finished from the University of Ibadan.
Okay, masters or PhD?
Yeah, masters.
Okay, what session was that?
Well, I got admission 2019-2020, but academic session didn't start until 2020-2021.
Oh, why? What happened?
Because of the COVID.
Yeah, the COVID-19.
Yeah. So they had to cancel a whole session.
A whole session. Yeah. Oh, okay. So when did you finish the program?
I finished 2020-2023.
2023. Okay. I would love to know why you actually embarked on that journey. I mean, you have your BSc, so must you go for your masters?
Well, to be frank, as in I'm the middle child. My brother did his masters immediately after leaving school. Same thing with my sister. Then I was like, the people I'm looking up to, they have their masters. As in, who am I?
Wow. so you just
I was just like, well, but in the long run, as in, it's a way to be more attached to my field. So it's actually good to do it. So
you just followed your siblings' footsteps.
Followed my siblings' footsteps, and in the studies is for me. So it's like a plus for me also. So
for knowledge too.
For knowledge also.
Okay. Yeah. And so, if I may ask, I know you have so many. Or am I wrong?
There are even more than one low point. A lot of low points.
Okay.
Well, one of the low points is merging my work with school.
Oh, you were working then?
Yeah, I was. Well, when I wrote the entrance exam 2019-2020,
okay,
I wasn't working because I finished my NYSC October 23. Then 2 weeks after getting back home, I got my form for the MSc. Then I got admission, was it not January, and that was when COVID started. And it was almost as if it won't end again. Then I went to get a job with Copec Construction.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the Copec work was as if just to keep myself busy before OAU call us, before UI call us back for the masters.
Okay. So in the course of the program, do you have the lowest point that you felt? Did you ever feel like you want to quit?
Yeah, because as I said earlier, that I got a job while waiting for the academic section to commence. I started my process for coring then, as in being certified as an engineer. Wow. Because I have my coring now. And then I started, while waiting for UI to give us something also, I thought of starting my own company. So after writing entrance exam, getting admission, that one pending, then when I was like, let me look for the alternative, getting my job and starting my own company, UI called us back. Then I was like, how will I do this? Because then Copec have one construction site in Ife then. I was in Ife when they called us to come and start working in Ibadan. Then I was like, oh no, I'm not doing this masters again. Then I had the opportunity to talk with the managing director. Then he brought me back to Ibadan.
Okay.
And the only project in Ibadan then is Akala Express. So an Akala Express to UI, and then if I'm to work in Ibadan, I'll be staying with my parents, and my parents are staying in Akobo. So it's like a triangle life with a lot of distance. So to balance it then so I thought of stopping one to make everything easy, and the masters was like the only thing I could stop then. But I kept going, and thank God.
So how did you scale through those hurdles?
Well, the only thing that helped me was the fact that when they called us back then, there were still some countries that they've not called off. What did they call this thing?
COVID-19.
No, the staying at home part of COVID.
Okay, the online classes.
No, that everybody shouldn't go out.
Okay.
Then, they're like
the lockdown. Okay.
Exactly. So the lockdown in some countries were still on. So federal universities, they're like at the front line of it for federal university to go against rules. So most of our lectures then was virtual. We do it online. So
Okay.
I had the opportunity of when I'm on site, I receive lectures in my car. So that actually helped a little. But then the second semester, then they asked us to come and be doing physical classes. Then that wasn't easy. But it was helpful in a way that we had 8 courses, we did five first semester already, so we just had three. And the three by then say some people left already, so we're just very few. The being few actually helps because we have more relationship with the lecturers then. So we told them everybody is working because academic is not balanced. Right? It's almost 3 years already, people are working. So let's just make Thursday, Friday the only time we'll be coming to school, and they agreed. So that actually
That's
helped a
thoughtful
lot.
of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave the lowest one. When was the highest point in the journey?
I don't want to say for everybody, but I believe the highest point should be that point when your supervisor will tell you that, yeah, you can submit this now.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
As in, you are done with this thing. Let's just go with it.
Me, your thesis, as in you're done, now you
When you
can
are done with
submit.
it, as in, because during the process of that final approval, there are many times you have to go. Even your supervisor will tell you that I'm in the office. Come, then you get it. You'll be like, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you that as in I plan going to Ife today. I'll be like,
Wow.
we all have something to do.
Of course we
Then
do.
you still have to come back again for it. So
Oh,
having to know that you are done with same supervisor and everything.
that was the highest point.
Honestly,
Okay,
it's
what life
really
lessons do you learn during the journey and how did you apply it after the program?
well, there is always this thing where they always ask you when they are doing job interview that can you work under pressure. I believe when you are done with your masters, they shouldn't even ask you those questions again.
No, that's because you were working, you were doing your master's, you were starting your company.
I want to believe for everybody whenever you're doing your masters. Like me now, even not because I went to federal university, my education was kind of fast. So most of the ages of people doing masters, they are when you are trying to find stability with finance, as in trying to have a home, like get a family. So when as in to match academics, match family together for people of my age, and having to face academics at that age, like 27, 29, 30, for someone to be going to class, I believe it shouldn't be easy for anybody. Because almost everybody then is either you are married or you're about to
get married. So. Actually. So during the course of your journey, did your hustle, your hurdles, did this have any effect on your family or any relationship?
It actually it did, because at that time I had issue with where to stay. As I said earlier, that my school is in UI, that's Agbowo. My place of work is Akala Express, and my parents stays in Akubo.
Wow, that's
then
like
I told them that I wake up very early in Akubo because work starts by 7. Rush down to Akala Express. By 12 o'clock there'll be a lecture in school. I have to go to UI. Then I have to come back to work to sign out and go back home. Then I went to them, I was like, if you guys can make me just rent an apartment at Akala Express, so at least I know that whenever I'm coming back from school, I just know that I just have to sign out and go back home to sleep, not sign out and start another journey back to Akubo. Then they were like, no, they won't actually agree with it.
They didn't agree?
They didn't actually agree.
What was the reason?
They were saying Akubo, the trips I'm covering, they're not actually that much. And I was like, actually the distance might not be much, but we're in Ibadan and many constructions are going on within Ibadan. So a journey of 30 minutes, the least of my journey then was 30 minutes, which is Akubo to Akala Express. But that was just for early in the morning. When I'm coming back in the evening, I spend nothing less than 1 hour 30 minutes.
Wow.
So I had 1 hour
within
30
Ibadan.
Within Ibadan. I had 1 hour 30 minutes coming back home in the evening. 1 hour 30 minutes moving from Akala Express to UI, and 1 hour 30 minutes in the morning.
And during that time you were also...
So that's like I spend 4 hours out of my 24 hours in the car, as in trying to match masters, work and home.
And you're also trying to build your company at the same time.
At the same time.
How were you able to cope? How were you able to scale through the hurdles?
Well, building the company then was actually like part of work, because while working with Copec, I had opportunities of having some I saw me working with Copec like experience, because whenever you want to start a construction company, you can't bid for a work after 1 month of starting your company, then you tell the client you want to work with that. I started my company last month. It's with no experience.
Matters.
It won't actually work like that. But it's actually very easy to tell them that you have 3 years experience, and that 3 years experience for me is the COPEC. So working with COPEC and doing my company was actually a thing of joy, because I know that it's like gaining experience for my company.
Okay, so during your master's program, were you able to scale through the financial hurdle?
Well, the thanks is to my parents. They actually were my sponsors. They
sponsored you, okay.
And the other miscellaneous and the other spendings was from my other work, even though they still helped, because even fueling alone for all those trips I said covers a lot, because in less than 10-14 days I'm already done with my salary. Obviously. Because I then not even to talk of the current situation of Nigeria, even as at then, as in a lot of money was going to petrol, as in to fuel the car.
So thanks to your parents for at least they sponsored you.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the relationship between you and your supervisor. How was it? Was it really cordial? Did you enjoy the relationship? Were you really mentored?
My supervisor was actually like a plus thing for me, because she is a female, and my supervisor is a woman. And when my BSc supervisor too was also a woman, so I kind of
like women.
So I kind of knew how to relate with them, and it was actually very smooth as I'm working with her. And she had help with the PhD students then, so it was as if I had 3 supervisors, 2 PhD students, and my supervisor.
Okay, so you were well grounded in your thesis.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you can you tell us if the journey was really worth it?
Honestly, it was, because
how?
Because now in Nigeria, BSc is almost nothing again, because and one of the things that, because you mentioned something about the low point, there was a point I wanted to quit. Then I was working with Scopec then they asked me to employ some people. I employed like eight workers then, as a casual workers. I would pay them daily. Then one of them learned that I'm studying in UI, and he was like, engineer, UI. I was like, I'm doing my master's. He was like, he graduated too from UI 3 months ago. Even the same course I did, Foundation and Geotechnics Engineering. Then I was like, oh, so if I'm to lose my job, I'm definitely going to lose it to someone I'm employed as a casual. Then I was like, no.
Did he have his own MSc then?
Even same in UI, MSc in UI, Foundation and
He just finished his own MSc in UI.
Just finished his own
and you were running your own MSc, and you employed him.
I employed him then.
And you say it's really worth it. You employed an MSc graduate, and you were a BSc graduate.
As I said earlier, as in there's something we call experience in engineering, and that's actually one of the high point of engineering generally. In engineering field generally, we don't chase after age. We believe age is experience. We are not that kind of firm or the kind of discipline that discriminates about age, not like bank sector that will tell you they need under 28. In civil engineering, we believe the higher your age, the higher your experience, they most likely use them for consultants. He came to COPEC then just to gain experience, because they went to UI also. And basically in Nigeria, when you do BSc, you have no knowledge about field. So you only came there to just have knowledge about field, not as
knowledge.
So you only came there for the experience.
All right, thank you. So if you want to, if you could turn back the hands of time, what would you have changed in the journey?
Well, what I would have changed was, as it would be that I wouldn't have packed too much of things, because the thing is, I scaled through, but for some people they might not actually be able to do it.
But that toughened you up?
That toughened me up, but it wasn't intentional. I thought the break would go longer, then I started packing more stuff. But if I had known that this will stop, I wouldn't have rushed into doing some things. I would have given myself the space.
Are you saying you'll have been more patient
patient about some things, and not just pack everything together and be overwhelmed, because most people might not actually have the mental to just carry it. So it's good to multitask and do many things at the same time. But if there is opportunity to, or if it is not time bounded, like you can do this thing later, you can do this thing later. It's just better for your mental health and for your comfort to just take it at a time, not pack everything together and start solving everything together.
Thank you very much. So if you want to advise a younger one or someone that wants to embark on this same journey, what exactly would be your advice to the person?
Well, my advice would be immediately after your service, because I believe immediately after your BSc, you go for your NYC. And if you know you want to further, the best time to go is immediately after your service year. Because the more you wait, the more impossible it will be. As I said earlier, that the age after NYC is the age where people try to be financially stable and have a home. So if you chase after the financial stability and home, I believe there's a very high percentage of not going back to academics.
Wow.
So before you go fully into chasing money and chasing family, if you know you want to further, just go immediately. Then after your masters, in between your masters, those things cannot come in. But don't deceive yourself by saying you want to have a stable job, have a wife, then you go for a masters. It's almost impossible.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Thanks for coming and thanks for sharing your experience with DeVoyage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, viewers. So please don't forget to like, to share. Bye.